It's TBISE, the best in sports entertainment. We're here live in Parliament, USA. TNS Media Group is a team and a family. I got my guy G Hackett here again with me. We're gonna talk about some boxing. What's up, G?
I'm chilling. How you feeling?
I'm chilling, man. So let's jump into it. You know, we do here at TBISE. We speak about all sports, boxing, football, NBA, NFL, you name it. But one of our specialties here is boxing. And I got my guy G here. So G, we're jumping to an up-and-coming fighter that was just announced maybe a few weeks ago in regards to Jaron Boots Ennis. He's going to be facing Stanionis. For Stanionis. Well, both of them have titles, but this is the fight that people were, they want to see Boots in. And these are fights that Boots had wanted. He wanted to fight the champions.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden, he has Stanionis who stepped up to the plate and want to take that fight. Yep. Why do you think they're doing this now? Stanionis allowing him to fight Boots.
You said why?
Yeah.
I mean, it's time. You can't keep going back and forth with the same old story, this guy ducking, that guy ducking. Mm-hmm. You can't keep giving the fans opponents that we don't know, we never heard of, or hasn't really earned the chance to be in there with a champion. Jaron Boots Ennis has put in the work he needed to put in, and he fought his mandatory. He's done with all that. It's time for a unification. I feel like with a man in Stanionis, he's been in a lot of tough situations where he was supposed to fight Virgil Ortiz, I think 3 times, and the fight didn't happen. So now that he has a title, it's time to really make his name. You know what I mean? I think this is perfect timing, honestly. I love that this fight is being made. I think this is probably the best on each side, like the best opponent they both had faced on each side. So it's one of them things, man. We needed it.
Yeah, and now you go into Boots, right? You hear Boots always saying, "Hey, listen, like I said before, I want to fight all the champions at 147."
Right.
And then Boots was saying, "Hey, I'm not getting these fights. I'm thinking about moving to 154."
Right.
And now Stanionis and his team is saying, "Hey, we'll take the fight." Do you think they're doing this because maybe they think they saw something in Boots' last fight, where they probably feel like they can capitalize on it, or maybe something that they feel as though they can exploit and probably.
I think that happens a lot in life. It happens a lot, especially in boxing, because what happens with a guy who's up and coming that we haven't seen too much of, we don't know what's making him special. But then when you watch him a few times, you say to yourself, all right, well, he's not that special. And maybe that's what Stanionis sees. Maybe that's what he thinks. Who knows? But I'm glad he's taking the fight. Yeah, at the same time, he could be right. We don't know. It might be something he see that he might really be sure about. But we'll only find out on April 12th. I'm glad the fight got made. At the same time, Boots Ennis has been that same hungry dog. He said, this is what he wants. I want the unification. I want the undisputed. Let's see what happens. And if you ask me, this is how you find out who's really the best in the division. Not by just saying you're the best. Let's see the best fights.
Yeah. So but the best fight and the best, a lot of people want to give a lot of credit for, Ryan Garcia, because he was going around fighting the best fighters as of late.
Right.
This is something that was going on in boxing in the 90s, 80s, and 90s. They were fighting everybody, but it kind of fell off for a while. People were trying to protect that, so forth and so on. But now it's getting back to champions fighting champions, so forth and so on. So this is a fight that everybody, wants to see. These are 2 up-and-coming fighters. These are 2 fighters who have the titles.
Yes.
And this makes a lot of sense for each fighter. Now, what does Boots have to do to deal with Stanionis in that style of fighting?
I think pace is going to matter. Pace and a good jab. I think if Boots go in there and take his time and pace behind his jab the same way he did against Villa, Romain Villa, I think he comes out successful. He take his time, because when you take your time, you don't overstep. I mean, what has happened sometimes when you overstep, you trip and fall. You get what I'm saying? So you take your time, you'll see everything happening in front of you. So I think as long as he take his time and break the guy down, he'll be okay. For Stanionis, I think if Stanionis go in there and really press Jaron Ennis, really push him to see if he really got it. You know what I mean? We know. I think we know.
Yes.
But we don't, because we be in the world. Not everybody understands. So I think if Stanionis go in there and push the bill, we see what happens. But I think, both have a great chance at each other simply because they both 2 hungry lions, and they want to be the best. When you want something so bad, you'll never know what happened. You know what I mean?
I think they're going to really fight. This is going to be one of those a fight.
Right.
It's not going to be one person. I think they're going to fight this fight, and I think that, in my opinion, from the eye test,
right,
eye test, if you look at the skill for skill, you would say Boots has more skills than Stanionis. But
Right.
Stanionis is actually really sturdy. You know what I'm saying? He's proven he's a champion, and so you look at those things. You say, hey, this is a tough challenge for both fighters. So
Right.
we'll see what happens. May the best man win. It's TBISE, the best in sports entertainment. You need home care services for yourself, but you don't know where to begin. Please allow Mecca Care to help you. Call now, 215-644-8341.